if you're going to say something, and I think that was a good competition. I think it's good competition is good. Friendly competition is always better, just because especially as someone that you know.
Mm.
But I say all this to say, truly, indeed, if you're going to talk a good game, oh, you better back it up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because in the end, you don't want to put it into the universe that you could do X, Y, and Z.
Look, hell of an intro. I tell you what you info, but I never really been the type of dude to give no info. But if you see your ends low and you trying to get a benzo, I'll give your ass some game that'll change the way that you think, bro. Super skilled with the pencil, super ill in my mental. I reminisce on life, I'm nice, here's my memento. Get it through your tempo, I get on any tempo and give it all I got. I'm hot, I got like 10 flows, trying to live on the 10th floor, across from residentials that I own. My mind stayed grown, I used to think clothes, I really used to think hoes and what I do to get those, and then I switched it up, I'm only thinking potential.
What's up, everyone? It's Ronnie Polonius and Francis Fan, and welcome to the realest show on the planet of Earth, where we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. You're going to essentially hear it all. So if you're ever looking for some sort of motivation, inspiration, or guidance, you're in the right place. We make it our mission to make sure we can give you a place where you can consistently walk and grow. What's going on, everybody? What's going on, man? How you doing?
How you going to acknowledge everybody before acknowledging me?
Because everybody's a little bit more important than you at this moment.
Dang. That's what you do now?
Yeah, I always been like this, man. Come on now. You know me.
It's the right thing. I'm just messing.
How are you doing since you want to be all sentimental?
Nah, bro, I'm good. I just, I'm not being sentimental. I'm just.
You sure? It's okay to be sentimental sometimes. You know that?
Bro.
Don't be broing me. I'm being honest.
You're right. There's nothing wrong with that. That's part of life, I guess.
Try to bro me. It don't work like that, man. It don't work like that.
No, I was just, it's interesting because every time we start the call, that's what you do. I mean, the meeting, you acknowledge first. You acknowledge the crowd or your fans. I'm assuming
the listeners. That's what they are.
I don't know what you call them, so
they're listeners. They're our fans. They're the people that tap in that are curious to hear a little bit more about what we have to share.
Is that how you see them? Is that how you see the people that are actually taking their precious time to listen to us gossip 9 times out of 10?
I don't think we gossip 9 times out of 10. But no, I definitely do look at them as our listeners, our support system, our I wouldn't say our fans, but just people that more or less I could pour into it, especially if they're giving me if they're giving me their ear and their time. I definitely gonna acknowledge them more than anything, because it takes a lot to have somebody's time, let alone their ear and attention. So it's a blessing.
I will go as far as to say considering them family, just because it takes, like you said, it takes a lot to listen to somebody consistently too, not just one time.
Right.
Not just one time. So I guess this is kind of an appreciation moment to our listeners, our loyal listeners.
Yeah, and if you have been listening and you're one of the loyal fans that are near, dear, and true to our hearts, those reviews has been lacking lately. So if you're somebody that has been tapped in to us and listening to what we have, if you have any feedback, just share it, whether it's on the reviews or DMs, well, preferably our reviews on Apple, Spotify, all those big old platforms that you can find us on. Leave us a review. Let us know what you think of it. Let us know what we can do better, because we're always going to go ahead and be here for you guys so that we can always give you exactly what is needed so that you guys can continuously move forward, because that's what Francis and I do ourselves. We find ways to involve every single day. At least I know I do. I don't know about him. So you guys can question him on that one. But please leave those reviews. And once you leave those reviews, we'll go ahead and share a little bit more appreciation with sharing them while we record, so that that we do see them and we acknowledge them. We don't just ask for the reviews just so you could sit there. We read them, acknowledge them. We thank you while we're recording, so you'll be able to hear it live. Well, not really live, but yeah, you know what I mean. Go ahead.
Are you done
Yeah, I am.
pampering our fans? Are you done pampering our listeners?
I guess.
Okay.
I would like to do it some more, but I'll leave that for another time.
Let's
All
get to
right.
the bread and butter.
So my first question
Hmm.
to start things off, and we're gonna get straight into it, is when you're going, and we could use any analogy you want, but when you're going like one versus one, like kind of going against somebody
Hmm.
who talks a lot. Like, I mean, maybe they talk a lot of trash, maybe they're just talking,
Hmm.
but they can't back it up. Are you still going to play them, or are you just going to be like, nah, I'm just going to brush you off and kind of leave it to the side? Like, what are you going to do?
Why did you use the word steal? What was your intention at the beginning was to play them before even knowing that fact, or what's going on? Like I'm trying to understand what's the play
I
here.
Yeah, no, I don't think I was trying to gear in terms of you trying to play them. I'm just talking in general. Like, someone approaches you, or
Hmm.
you approach somebody, is like, hey, let's go one versus one against each other. And
One versus one in what? Just a conversation?
anything. I mean, a
Okay.
conversation is not going to really, I don't think this is
Okay.
going to really be
Are
applicable.
you talking like arm
Competition. It
wrestling?
has to
Like
be a competition. It has
let's
to be some sort of
who can
competition.
finish their drink first and things like that. Gotcha.
You could do that too.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
wouldn't recommend it.
I have had those competition in college. That was
And so I
fun.
guess let's talk about that then, if you would like.
No. You continue. Listen.
Come on, man.
Bro, that's for me and my future kids to know. So you continue with your story.
Your future kids can listen to this and hear your story from there.
Nope.
So, anyways, it has to be a competition based though, and you're going against somebody. It's a one versus one, and it's essentially one versus one. But as you're going through and trying to, I guess, play or get yourself ready, you're realizing this person is talking a whole lot of trash, or
Mm.
just talking a lot in
So
general.
so by trash, are you saying like you know that it's not true?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
All right. I'm just
So
trying to make sure I get the picture.
yeah, no, definitely, no. Thank you for that, because everyone that's listening is probably like, where's Ronnie going with this? And you'll understand. And there's a whole reason why I want to start off with the competition, because I'm very competitive. I know Francis is very competitive as well. So this is something that we have a lot of stories on, to say the least. But if you
Good.
know someone can't back it up, what are you doing? Are you gonna still play them, or are you gonna just say, you know what, not worth my time?
And I think I would want to kind of hear first,
Hear
just
what? What you need to hear?
hear, be present and kind of hear what this person is trying to say and where they're trying to get to. So then the next step is to make sure that I validate with them what they just said, as in
Mm,
like, okay, is this what you meant? Did I hear you correctly? Is this right? All right. And then once I validate that, now then I pull out the facts, because you at that point you cannot deny the fact that you didn't know. Does that make
okay,
sense?
it does.
I'm kind of going with it, like, in a structure, because I like to structure things. So first you listen, and second you acknowledge and validate what you heard with the person. And then yeah, exactly. So like now you know that I know, basically. That's what we're doing. And then at that point, I go and pull the facts. Okay, look, with everything that you're saying or whatever, that's not what the books say, or that's not what whatever competition it was. That's not what it
Mhm.
says. No. So
Interesting.
yeah, yeah. Because then what you've done is like not only did you help the person learn in the process, but you've also shown them how they can do the same for somebody else.
Gotcha. So you're taking the nice subtle approach.
Bro, yeah, man. Yeah.
Ah,
I'm not gonna try to badmouth somebody, on the situation, because then you
mm,
know what's gonna do? It's gonna just create tension, and nobody's gonna learn anything out of that, experience or whatever moment that is.
no, that's fair. So in that situation, I would allow the person to badmouth, because I'm the type of person where I talk a whole lot of trash after it's over.
Mm.
So I wouldn't necessarily be too caught up in getting the person to understand. I would be more caught up in, all right, I'm going to shut you up really quickly. And that would be my approach. So like I said, yours is a lot more subtle than mine. Mine is, okay, you want to talk, then let's play. Let's go. Let's play the
Let's
game
dance.
that you.
Let's
Yeah,
dance. Yeah.
exactly. let's
Yeah.
do the dance,
Yeah.
and then let's figure out who's gonna have the last laugh in the end.
Who's gonna lead? You know, who's gonna
Yeah.
be leading that
Who's-
dance, basically.
Who's gonna have the laugh in the end? And I think that is really it goes right into what I want to talk about today, because I feel as if, and this is my personal opinion, just kind of what I see. I feel like a lot of people nowadays are just really trigger happy, like really trigger happy. And you're probably thinking like, trigger happy, what do you mean? I'm not talking about no guns, guys. I'm talking like, quick to speak and not realize sometimes what they're even saying, or even
listen.
Right. Again, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Use it. Use it wisely, I should say. But yes, I feel like people are trigger happy. In a sense where all they do is either say, or they talk. There's just too much talking. Whereas now the question that runs through my mind is, are your actions matching with your words? So I want you to really kind of, whoever's listening right now, right, just really take it to understand what I meant by that is, the things that you're saying you're going to do, or the things that you do they actually match up with who you are, what you even said that you're going to do, what you even want for yourself? Because essentially you got to hold yourself accountable at some point in time. I think it's amazing when you can have other people to hold you accountable as well, but not everybody's you can't hold everybody to that same expectation that you're trying to hold themselves. So it's one of those things where I see it all the time. And it doesn't frustrate me, but it's one of those things where it's like, why do people actually say more than what it is that they're willing to do? Like, if you can't do it, then that's okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, and not one that you will come across very often, just because of the tension that's around. I was just when you're talking about, you said something about people being quick to just speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the Bible actually said, "Let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger." That's in James 1:19. And it's one of those, I had to write about this a few weeks ago, and it basically aligned with what you're talking about today. We don't take the time to just pause and be like, okay, how am I going to move before deciding to move in a certain situation? Is that correct?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think in those situations, I mean, even if you kind of looking at it, like, because again, in those situations when you're right then in the spot, I don't think anybody logically thinks, hey, should I think about this before doing it? Or they just kind of just do it. I think, and that's the part where I had to develop myself. Just understanding, all right, this is what's in front of me. Think about it. I literally would take some time, whether it's right then on the spot or it's just really quickly in my mind, or I'm coming back to that thing a couple of days later. But it's just taking that time. And that's something that, of course, I've developed, because I could definitely say I was a person that always wanted to please everyone. And it took me a while to realize that, all right, if you're going to please everybody, you got to, at least myself, I like to hold myself accountable. Because again, the more you say something and you don't follow through, me personally, you're going to become dead weight at some point in time, because then you're going to become unreliable. And there's just a trickle effect that goes on there that I don't think anybody should be willing to even want to be down there, because at some point in time, we're all here to be helpful to somebody else. So let's do that for each other.
Right. Let's do that. But so if you come across a situation like that, how what are some of the first things you will do?
So you're saying if somebody were to come up to me and ask me for something, like, what's the scenario in this situation?
Yeah, you come across somebody that is struggling and you identify that. What do? Do you just like let them go about, continue to just lie to people, or like you said, what's the word that you use? Trash? Was that what it was? That
Sure.
what as in, like, what they're saying is basically trash. So if you were
Dead
with a
weight.
person, yeah, yeah, what do you do? Are you gonna teach them? Are you gonna help them? Or are you gonna just, because you say you're gonna call them out right away, right? You're gonna try to stop them right in the middle of their BS.
Well, I see what you're saying, and that's I think that's a completely different scenario there, where so is somebody trying to help me do something, or are they just trying to help themselves? Like, what are we doing there?
No, but go back to the scenario that you described at the beginning.
The competition.
Yes.
Yes.
Now you come across somebody like that. You say you're gonna call them out on their
Oh no,
BS.
no, no! I'm not calling nobody out on nothing. I'm not talking to you. I'm just gonna do the work, or I'm gonna do what I need to do to shut you up really quickly.
Gotcha.
So I'm not correcting anybody. No, I'm not. I'm not putting my time and energy into somebody talking. I'm just gonna show you, and then for you to realize, oh, I need to shut up. Then yeah, that's exactly what you should do before you start doing anything. Understand the scenario before you start talking. That's kind of what I kind of want to get out of that competition aspect, because I experienced it a lot. I mean, I experienced it, I would say, just this past summer. Someone wanted to race me for some odd reason. I told him, you do not want to race me. I'm going to beat you. And he's like, no, 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 come on, man, let's race. And sure enough, I raced him. And this is one of those races that actually hurt me in the long run, because I think I actually hurt myself on that run, and I still won. But it's
Oh, so this was a foot race. I'm
oh
thinking
yeah,
car
yeah.
race, bro.
No, oh,
I'm
no,
so
no,
far gone, bro.
nah.
I'm so
Those
far gone. Go
I
ahead.
stopped
Yeah.
those races a long time ago.
Likewise, but when every time you mention race, that's the first thing that comes to mind because that's what I enjoy. So
Yeah. Oh, we know. Well, not everybody, but oh, we know. But no,
not
it's
anymore, man. It's been where's the wood? Hold on. Knock on wood. It's been a good 3 years now, man.
jeez.
I drive like I got 10 kids in the back of the car. Seriously. But yeah, it's been
But yeah,
good.
no, it was one of those. Again, I warned the person. It's like, no, there's no reason to. Like, it's proven. Like, we know that who's faster. And sure enough, I went against him and I beat him. And now that person can no longer say that he's faster than me. But I say all this to say it's, if you're going to say something, and I think that was a good competition. I think it's good competition is good. Friendly competition is always better. Just because especially as someone that you know.
Hmm.
But I say all this to say, truly indeed, if you're going to talk a good game, oh, you better back it up.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because in the end, you don't want to put it into the universe that you could do X, Y, and Z, and then you failed at it. Because now, I mean, you may not look at it as a complete fail, but I mean, in all reality, what did you do? You said something that you're gonna do something, and you didn't perform to your expectations or to somebody else's expectations or whatever the case may be. So in the end, just protect yourself.
Right.
Protect your thoughts, protect the things that's going all around you. I mean, if you cannot do it, just don't say it.
I'm assuming this experience that you had over the summer must have really moved you for you to bring it up for as a topic. Huh?
Well,
Is
no,
that what it
it's
is?
it's just one that I mean I see on a daily basis with a lot of people. I could even talk about one recently, but I'm not going to do that one because that's more sentimental and too close in timeline. I'll save it for a time later down the line where it can't come back and
And bite you.
yeah, it bite me. But
Wow.
I see it way too often to the point where that's why I really kind of want to discuss it, because I know that because I'm seeing it, I know others are seeing it as well, and it gets sometimes quite frustrating because it's like, man, you said you're gonna do it then, but you don't do it, and it's just like, you're only hurting everybody involved in that entire process. So I just don't want people to literally, become dead weight. And the reason why is because, again, your words hold a lot of weight, more than
But
you think.
become dead weight. Become dead weight. I have a
Don't
problem with that.
become dead weight. Don't become dead weight. Why do
Yeah,
you have a problem with that?
because I feel like everybody right now with the fear of like the future, everybody has been on the grind. So I'm not sure if there's somebody out there that could be considered as unreliable. But so because everybody's going towards life at their own pace. So at what scale are we, supposed to say, okay, this person is unreliable if they're supposed to live their life according to their own realm and their own rules?
So everyone, would you agree that everyone at some point should help somebody else?
Yes, that's
Okay.
that's
So-
part of the reason why we're here. I
Okay.
believe that's part of the reason why we're here too. Like I like to say it, and I'm gonna say it again: lift each other up.
Okay, so now if someone says to you, yeah, I'll help you out with this, and when that time comes, they don't help you out. That's one strike. That's okay, everybody has those days, right? That's fair. Now let's say
Did you
Couple months
evaluate
in-
the circumstances? Did you talk about why that happened? My bad. I
why
just
do you
thought
have to talk about it for?
Well,
You
anyway,
you already hold on. Why do you have to talk about it though? You already said you're gonna help. What is there to talk about?
because things happen, bro. Circumstances.
So then don't agree to something that you know that things you won't be able to do. That's what I'm trying to show here.
No,
Or at
but
least to say.
listen. You can have something set in stone, but some life happened, right? Life
Yeah.
happened. So you're not gonna factor in I'm gonna give you an example, for example. Yeah. So you're supposed to have a meeting with your, I don't know, a partner, a business partner, or a professor. Very important meeting with your professor to review your grade, right?
Yeah.
And on your way to this meeting, you get a call that, oh, your son was playing soccer and tore his leg up.
Yeah, that's a reschedule.
Well, that's a reschedule, right? But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You have no control over outside circumstances, but there are things that could happen. There's a million other examples I could have picked, but you get the point.
Yeah, I do.
So that's why I said, did you take the time to see, okay, what happened, right?
But
Or it's just like, oh, you said you didn't do it, because now then there's a communication barrier at that
Mhm.
point, because
right.
now you're assuming that it just didn't work out because the person didn't want to do it, or I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I see what you're saying.
I'm just trying to give you a different perspective on the issue. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to.
You're putting extreme situations, and that's what I love. You're putting the extreme situations into account, which is completely fair because again, those things, as we all know, they occur and they happen. It's life. There's nothing that we could do to avoid it. What I'm trying to say is more as someone made that agreement, everyone is on par, everybody's understanding of the situation is just a lack of awareness or a lack of, hey, oh, my bad, I forgot kind of situation kind of thing. That's more or less the one that's what I'm looking for. And that's why I say
so the I forgot without even acknowledging it. Is that what you're saying?
Right. I forgot, or just something comes up and there's an excuse, there's a complaint, I don't know. I'm not saying an extreme because if there's an extreme situation, an extreme scenario that does occur, then I would hope that person is understanding. At least myself, I would 110% be understanding. It would just you got to adapt and adjust. That's kind of the lifestyle that I live, right? Anyways, but I would definitely say it's more for the person that doesn't take consideration of the entire situation, I would say.
Gotcha.
That's when that's why I say your words hold a lot of weight because someone's counting on you. And then at the end of the day, what do? You just turn your cheek essentially and put no care or put no worry into the world. I mean, what goes around comes around. Be careful now. So I say all this to say your actions have to match your words. Don't just say things. Don't just do things just for the sake of it. Understand why you're doing it. Understand why you're saying it. Understand what you're trying to do. Understand what you're going to get out of it. Because once you understand all of that, you'll know exactly. You'll be all intentional. And being intentional is just much better because you know exactly what the outcome should be, at least for yourself.
Really, man, the focus is just leveling up. Cause I know the life I want. I'm just setting it up. Removing those that's close who try messing it up. Can't wait for champagne toast with the relevant bunch. Like, what's up? Yeah. Like, what you do, homie? What's your vision? How you thinking? How you move, homie? And is you cool, homie? You thinking building, then that's something we could do, homie.